What's up, y'all? So let's discuss how to lose body fat and how it really occurs within the body, okay? So to start things off, let's do men versus women, okay? It's two totally different ball games. Men tend to have leaner physiques because they have more muscle tone and their skeletons are much thicker. And then women tend to have more body fat because of their female parts and the possibility of pregnancy in the future. So with that being said, a healthy range for men is around 18 to 24% body fat, and a healthy range for women is around 25 to 31%, okay? So next, let's dive into genetics, okay? So everybody has different genetics. We all have different ethnicities, upbringings, okay? So our DNA strands are different. So what works for me may not work for you. So you may have it harder than me, I may have it harder than you. So that's why it's never good to compare someone's journey and try to replicate what someone else is doing, because it just may not work. So you have to take that into consideration. Your genetics will determine where you store your body fat, how fast it comes off, or how fast it's put on, okay? So then now moving on to body types. So there's a ectomorph, there's a mesomorph, and then there's an endomorph. The ectomorph is the skinny people who can eat whatever they want and they don't gain a pound. It's actually hard for them to gain weight. And so I mean, those people live the best lives because they can eat pizzas and burgers and they still look the same the next day. Now there's a mesomorph where those people are kind of like in between, okay? So those people are, more on the leaner side, but they still can accumulate body fat. So they do have to watch what they eat. They can't be eating burgers and pizza all the time, okay? And then we have the endomorphs, who are people who are naturally thick or big-boned, as you would say. They've always been big their whole life. They were just born that way. That's their genetics. And they really have to be on point with their diet and their fitness routine in order to maintain a lean physique, okay? So next, let's talk about fat. And, when you lose it, where does it go? So what happens is the fat is made up of fat cells. The fat cells shrink over time because the body, when it's in a calorie deficit, utilizes free fatty acids into the bloodstream. And that's how over time the fat cells shrink, okay? So, I used to think when I was little, like, where does it go? Do we swallow it or anything? But nah, it just disappears over time. And you want to make sure you're losing fat at a natural rate. You don't want to lose it too fast, because then that's when you see the saggy skin. So when you lose it too fast, the skin doesn't have enough time to adjust, to slowly adjust to your progress that you're making to tighten up correctly and naturally. And that's why you see a lot of saggy skin on a lot of people. They lost it too fast, okay? So the next thing is, how do we lose body fat, okay? So the correct way to lose body fat is being in a calorie deficit, and then also with a good resistance exercise routine, because the more muscle mass that your body has, the higher metabolism will be running. And the higher metabolism running, the more calories you burn throughout the day. So we need to maintain our muscle, okay? So while being in a calorie deficit, I'm sorry, I can't talk, our protein needs to be our number one priority, okay? I usually do protein, carbs, and fats, okay? So the protein is for the muscles, the carbs are for the energy, and then the fats are for the organs and all that stuff, okay? So protein has to be number one, a high protein diet. Next is how long does it usually take, or, why is it so hard? Think about this quote: it's easier to destroy than to create. So if you think about a building, right? How long does it take to build a building? It takes usually months to a year, right? But it can be destroyed within instant or seconds, just by the bomb or an accident by a car or something. So it's the same thing for your body. It's much more harder to create than to destroy. So you can destroy your body with a couple of moments of, let me take a bite of that cupcake, let me take a bite of this burger, and I'll work it off later. That adds up because you don't really know the amount of calories and the saturated fats, the sugars, the butters that you're consuming within those bites. So of course, it's easier to do that in moments than to do a consistent workout routine that, lasts for 30 minutes to an hour, 4 to 5 times a week on a consistent basis, And of course it's hard, but it all comes down to how bad you want to do it, okay? And unfortunately, sorry to break the news, but you can't lose fat in one area. Unfortunately, I know they say fat loss, ab routine, lose your fat in your arm, you do this arm routine. You can't decide, your body decides for you, okay? So you just have to be patient with the process, and your body's gonna lose fat wherever it decides to first. So it may do your jaw, your fingers, your arms, your toes, your ankle, wherever, but you just have to that's why you have to keep pushing and just do not stop until you get the results that you desire, all right? So, like I said, anything is possible. If y'all need any more help as far as dieting and, setting up a good workout routine, just feel free to message me and I'll be, more than happy to help you out. If you live in San Antonio, Texas and looking for a one-on-one personal trainer, I got you. Feel free to message me about details as far as where I train my clients, my pricing, and the services that I do provide. If you do not live in San Antonio, Texas, it's all good. I also have an online coaching website where I provide custom meal plans, workout routines, or all the above in a 4-week online coaching where everything is custom and personalized to you and your lifestyle. Like I said, my job is to help you become the best version of yourself. Feel free to message me about any other questions.